Good morning, children. In today's English class, you are going to learn the line by line explanation of the lesson A Triumph of Surgery from your book Footprints Without Feet. Okay, children? Be brisk to learn the interesting story. At first, let us look into the introduction of the lesson, children. This story has been written by James Herriot. The subject of this story is a pet dog which is spoiled by its owner. The owner indulges her dog so much with food and other comforts that the dog has become overweight and cannot even walk properly. Finally, the dog has been taken to a veterinary doctor who treats the dog without using a single medicine. The dog is left with all other dogs so that it can play and get the much needed physical exercise. After a period of enough physical activities, the dog loses much of its fat and becomes hale and healthy. So this is what the entire story, children. So before we get into this story, let us see the characters. At first, here comes Mrs. Pumphrey. Mrs. Pumphrey, she was a wealthy woman. She loved her dog very much. Next comes Tricky, a dog. Tricky was a small dog and was excessively loved by his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey. And the next character is the author as well as one of the characters in the story named James Alfred Waite, who was popularly known by the pen name James Herriot. He was a British veterinary surgeon and writer who used his many years of experience as a veterinary doctor surgeon to write a series of books consisting stories about animals and their owners. So children, without any further delay, let us get into the lesson. Children, the story starts here as the author was traveling by his car. He happened to see Tricky and his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey, looking at the dog named Tricky. Mr. Herriot was very much worried because Tricky had become very fat and his appearance was very strange. Bloated sausage means round in shape and a swollen piece of meat. Here the author means that Tricky's appearance was looking like a swollen piece of meat. He was that much round in shape. The word bloodshot means red in color. Tricky's eyes were looking red in color. Lolled means hanging. Tricky's tongue was hanging outside from his jaw. And the word roomy means watery discharge that was coming from Tricky's mouth. So this is how the dog Tricky looked. Children, here you have to understand that since the author was a veterinary surgeon, he easily comes to know that there is something wrong with the dog. And that was why he was shocked and worried about Tricky's appearance. Here children, what is the relationship between James Herriot and Mrs. Pumphrey? They are known to each other. Since Mrs. Pumphrey had a dog, she might have been to James Herriot's clinic. So children, I hope all of you might have understood the meaning of first paragraph. Shall we move on to the next paragraph, children? Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. He was so listless. Mr. Herriot seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition, so I have been giving him some little extras between meals to build him up. Some malt and cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really. So children, through the second paragraph, the author says that Mrs. Pumphrey hastened means hurried to explain to Mr. Harriot that the dog was listless, which means the dog does not show any interest and he was not active at all. So that Mrs. Pumphrey thought that the dog is suffering from malnutrition. Malnutrition means lack of nutrition, and that was why she started giving some extra food items between meals to build the dog up. Okay children, the extra food items that were given by Mrs. Pumphrey was malt, cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. And so children, this is how Mrs. Pumphrey overfed the dog and made Tricky to be sick still. Have you understood the second paragraph children? Shall we move on to the third paragraph now? And did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you? Oh, I did for a bit, but he seemed to be so weak I had to relent. He does love cream cakes and chocolates, so I can't bear to refuse him. I looked down again at the little dog. That was the trouble. Tricky's only fault was greed. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night. Here comes the explanation of this paragraph children. The author, Mr. James Harriot, asked Mrs. Pumphrey whether she had cut down the sweet items that he told her already. Mrs. Pumphrey answered him that Tricky seemed so weak, so she did not resist him to give all the food items. Relent means give. And Tricky loved ice cream, cakes and chocolates, so that Mrs. Pumphrey was not able to refuse him. Here James Harriot looked at the little dog. He found Tricky was very greedy in eating, and that was the main problem, and that was why Tricky seemed very fat. Okay children, let us move on to the next paragraph now. And I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey hadn't mentioned. Are you giving him plenty of exercise? Well, he has little walks with me, as you can see, but Hodkin, the gardener, has been down with lumbago, so there has been nothing growing lately. I tried to sound severe. Now I really mean this. Children, here through this paragraph we can understand that the doctor, Mr. James Harriot, advised Mrs. Pumphrey to give Tricky a lot of physical exercise. When he asked about the same, she said she was not able to give exercise because the gardener named Hodkin is suffering from a muscle disease, which is lumbago, and that was why nothing throwing lately means the practice is not carried out regularly. Look at the next paragraph children. If you don't cut his food right down and give him more exercise, he is going to be really ill. You must harden your heart and keep him on a very strict diet. Mrs. Pumphrey wrung her hands. Oh, I will, Mr. Harriot. I am sure you are right, but it is so difficult, so very difficult. She set off, head down, along the road, as if determined to put the new regime into practice immediately. I watched their progress with growing concern. In this paragraph, James Harriot ordered Mrs. Pumphrey strictly that Tricky must be practiced with physical exercise. If not, he will suffer a lot and health condition of Tricky will go worsen still. Wrung means squeezed and twisted. So Mrs. Pumphrey squeezed her hands and she accepted that Mr. Harriet was right and she was not able to give physical exercise to Tricky because it was very difficult. She assured Mr. Harriet that she will definitely put the new regime. Regime means routine. So children, somehow, though she finds it difficult, definitely Mrs. Pumphrey is going to give physical exercise to Tricky. So here the author is saying that he watched the regular progress with growing concern, which means the regular practice of physical exercise will be given to Tricky in order to reduce weight of Tricky. I hope all of you might have understood the paragraph, children. Shall we move on to the next paragraph? Tricky was tottering along in his little tweed coat. He had a whole wardrobe of these coats for the cold weather and a raincoat for the wet days. He struggled on, drooping in his harness. I thought it wouldn't be long before I heard from Mrs. Pumphrey. The expected call came within a few days. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught. Through this paragraph, we can understand that Tricky was brought up luxuriously by Mrs. Pumphrey and she gave him a wardrobe full of coats. The coats were designed according to the weather, raincoats, and coats were designed for cold weather also. Here tweed coats means rough woolen coat. Tottering means walking. So the doctor says that all these things were said by Mrs. Pumphrey to the doctor. As the doctor was expecting a call from Mrs. Pumphrey, the call had come. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught means she was very much worried. Okay children, I hope all of you might have understood this paragraph. Shall we move on to the next? Tricky would eat nothing, refused even his favorite dishes, and besides, he had bouts of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on a rug panting, didn't want to go for walks, didn't want to do anything. I had made my plans in advance. The only way was to get Tricky out of the house for a period. I suggested that he be hospitalized for about a fortnight to be kept under observation. The poor lady almost swooned. Through this paragraph, we can understand that Tricky's health condition had become worse. He was not interested to do anything. Even he was not interested eating his favorite food items. He was not interested walking. Instead, he was always lying on the mattress. Here, panting means breathing with difficult. Swooned means fainted. Look at the next paragraph, children. She was sure he would pine and die if he did not see her every day. But I took a firm line. Tricky was very ill, and this was the only way to save him. In fact, I thought it best to take him without delay and followed by Mrs. Pumphrey's wailings. I marched out to the car carrying the little dog wrapped in a blanket. The author explains that if Tricky didn't see the mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey, he would even die. Both are that much intimated. But James Herriot was very sure, and he advised Mrs. Pumphrey to hospitalize Tricky. Only then his illness will be cured. Here wailings means cryings. Okay children, now look at the next paragraph. The entire staff was roused and maids rushed in and out, bringing his day bed, his night bed, favorite cushions, toys, rubber rings, breakfast bowl, lunch bowl, supper bowl. Realizing that my car would never hold all the stuff, I started to drive away. As I moved off, Mrs. Pumphrey, with despairing cry, threw an arm full of little coats through the window. Through this paragraph, we can understand that Mrs. Pumphrey somehow accepted to hospitalize Tricky, but when she sent off Tricky to the hospital, not only Mrs. Pumphrey but also the entire staff member of Mrs. Pumphrey's house stood near the car, brought the different types of bowls for lunch, breakfast and supper, and brought the day bed and night bed and cushions. Have you understood children? Now look at the next paragraph. I looked in the mirror before I turned the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears out on the road. I glanced down at the pathetic little animal gasping on the seat by my side. I patted the head and Tricky made me a brave effort to wag his tail. Poor old lad, I said, you haven't a kick in you, but I think I know a cure for you. At the surgery, the household dogs surged round me. In this paragraph, the author says that he was happened to see everybody was standing and everybody was in tears. They were feeling very bad missing the dog Tricky. Here inside the car, the dog was gasping. Gasping means looking at him. He said, poor old lad. Poor means sick. Old means, this is also indicating the sickness of lad. Here is Tricky. Here the doctor said that he knew how to cure Tricky. At the surgery, surgery is not operation, surgery is the clinic here. So in the clinic, household dogs were surrounded by the author. Look at the next paragraph children. Tricky looked down at the noisy pack with dull eyes and when put down, lay motionless on the carpet. The other dogs, after sniffing round him for a few seconds, decided he was an uninteresting object and ignored him. I made up a bed for him in a warm loose box next to the one where the other dogs slept. For 2 days I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. So children, here in this paragraph the author said that Tricky was taken to the surgery. Surgery here means the clinic, and he was not given any sort of food items. For the first 2 days, Tricky was given only water and nothing else. Have you understood this paragraph, children? This is how James Herriot started his treatment in his surgery. Now look at the next paragraph, children. At the end of the second day, he started to show some interest in his surroundings, and on the third he began to whimper when he heard the dogs in the yard. When I opened the door, Tricky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe, the greyhound, and his friends. After rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him, the dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. So children, we know very well the first 2 days doctor gave Tricky plenty of water. On the third day, Tricky had become a little active and he was able to mingle with all the other dogs in the surgery. Surgery here means the clinic of James Herriot. So the author explains that on the third day onwards, Tricky befriended with all the other dogs, played with the other dogs mutually. Here, Joe the Greyhound is a type of dog. Surplus fat means excess fat. So the first 2 days, Tricky did not show any interest towards the other dogs in the clinic, whereas on the third day it started showing his interest towards the dogs. Tricky also played just like the other dogs played in the clinic. I hope all of you might have understood this paragraph. Shall we move on to the next paragraph, children? Later that day, I was present at the feeding time. I watched while Tristan slopped the food into the bowls. There was the usual headlong rush followed by the sounds of high-speed eating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the other, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of his meal. When they had finished, Tricky took a walk round the shining bowls, licking casually inside one or two of them. So here what is happening in this paragraph, children? After the third day, the doctor was in the clinic during meal time. He happened to see what is happening when the dogs were given with food. It was usual at the surgery that when food was given by Tristan was the one who was working in the clinic of Mr. Herriot. When he gave food to the dogs, as usual, dogs rushed to have the food items. After the dogs completed eating, Tricky took a walk around the shining bowls and he licked casually inside one or two of them. So children, we can understand that only this is how James Herriot brought interest of food to Tricky. He first of all gave water and emptied the stomach of Tricky, and through that Tricky got interest in eating food. Have you understood, children? Shall we move on to the next? Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him, and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. From then on, his progress was rapid. He had no medicine's treatment of any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. He discovered the joys of being bowled over, tramped on, and squashed every few minutes. Through this paragraph, we can understand that after 4 or 5 days, Tricky started eating. That was because he was not overfed. He did not give too much of food, just like how Mrs. Pumphrey gave him, whereas he gave only a plenty of water and physical exercise. And James Herriot thought to himself that this will be the treatment for Tricky, and thus Tricky started becoming active. Okay children, have you understood? Now let us move on to the next paragraph. He became an accepted member of the gang an unlikely, silky little object among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share at meal times and hunting rats in the old hen house at night. He had never had such a time in his life. All the while, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins. Through this paragraph, we can understand that Tricky had become very close to the dogs. When he was among the other dogs, he was a unique one. He was looking silky and shiny, whereas the other dogs were looking shaggy. When all these were happening, Mrs. Pumphrey would call James Herriot a dozens of times every day to get to know the bulletins means latest news about Tricky. This is how the veterinary surgeon, Dr. James Herriot, treated Tricky, and he further said that Tricky would never had such a time in his life because he was always given too much of food even before he was feeling hungry. Okay children, have you understood? Let us look into the next paragraph now. I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convalescing rapidly. The word convalescing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey. Here, Mrs. Pumphrey asked too many questions about the health condition of Tricky. James Herriot did not answer all the questions of Mrs. Pumphrey. Instead, he said that Tricky was out of danger and Tricky was convalescing rapidly. Convalescing means recovering, rapidly means fast. So, the word convalescing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey means that word made Mrs. Pumphrey to feel happy. Look at the next paragraph children. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozen at a time, to build up Tricky's strength. For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast, but when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. It was to enrich Tricky's blood. In this paragraph, James Herriot said that Mrs. Pumphrey sent a dozen of eggs every day, which was sent by her in order to strengthen Tricky's health, whereas the eggs were eaten by James Herriot and the partners of him in the clinic. The eggs were not given to Tricky. After a few days, wine was also given in order to strengthen Tricky. Even that wine was used by only James Herriot and his partners. Look at the next paragraph children. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine before and several during the meal. We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Tricky's constitution. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled and relevantly drunk. Children, we know very well this story is based on the British people. It is very casual in their custom to consume wine and all the other items like that. So when Mrs. Pumphrey sent all the items, the lunch time became like a ceremony. It has become like a feast for them. They enjoyed their lunch very much, consuming the wine and brandy. Now look into the next paragraph, children. They were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine, and finishing luxuriously round the fire with the brandy. It was a temptation to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest, but I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering, and after a fortnight felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting collection. Through this paragraph, we can understand that the doctor, Mr. James Herriot, as well as the partners of him, enjoyed the 3 meals of the day, and he had a temptation that Tricky to be his permanent guest. If he was a permanent guest of him, he can have luxurious food items every day. But there was no other go. It was the 15th day. He had to call Mrs. Pumphrey to inform that Tricky is awaiting to be taken home, because Tricky is completely alright now. Have you understood this paragraph, children? Shall we move on to the next? Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal drew up outside the surgery. The chauffeur opened the door, and I could just make out of the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey, almost lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Herriot, do tell me the truth. Is he really better?" The author says that soon after he called Mrs. Pumphrey to inform Tricky is alright now. Within few minutes, Mrs. Pumphrey came to the surgery. The 30 feet of a gleaming black metal is the car, and chauffeur here means the driver. He opened the door. Inside the car, Mrs. Herriot was able to see Mrs. Pumphrey. She asked Mrs. Herriot whether the dog is completely alright now and whether he is telling the truth. Have you understood this, children? Shall we move on to the next paragraph now? Is he really better now? Yes, he is fine. There is no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him. I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling round and round the lawn. In their midst, ears flapping, tail waving, was the little golden figure of Tricky. Here in this paragraph, James Herriot said that Mrs. Pumphrey needn't get down of her car. He himself would go inside the surgery and bring Tricky to her. Now look at the next paragraph, children. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lithe, hard-muscled animal. He was keeping up well with the pack, stretching out in the great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open, and when Tricky saw the mistress, he took off from my arms in a tremendous leap and sailed to Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. So here the author came to say that Tricky had become hard-muscled animal in 2 weeks of time. We know very well that Tricky was not given any sort of medicine. Instead, he was given only a plenty of water and a plenty of physical exercise. Soon after seeing Mrs. Pumphrey inside the car, Tricky leapt on her lap from James Herriot's hand. Look at the next paragraph, children. She gave a startled "ho" and then had to defend herself as a swarmed over her, licking her face and barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushions, coats, and bowls, none of which had been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. "Oh, Mr. Harriet," she cried. "How can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of surgery." Through this final paragraph, we can understand that Mrs. Pumphrey gave a startled means surprised "oh" expression, and then Tricky and Mrs. Pumphrey shared their excitements. Meanwhile, James Harriet helped the car driver to bring out the beds, toys, cushions, coats, bowls of the Tricky. None of the things were used in the surgery. When the car started moving from the surgery, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window and she showed her gratitude through her tears, and added further, telling him that was the triumph of surgery. Triumph means success of the surgery. So children, we know very well that he was succeeded by not giving any sort of medicines, whereas by giving only physical exercise. So children, too much of anything is good for nothing is the moral of the story. I hope all of you might have understood the concept, moral, and the story of triumph of surgery. Thank you. Have a nice day.